everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be all about nutrition and specifically fat loss. I want to give you guys 5 easy, crucial tips that you can implement as of today in your routine to achieve fat loss results without having the need to be obsessive with calorie counting or to change up your whole routine and feel like you have a complete different lifestyle. No, we don't want this. We want to make this feel like it comes as natural as possible, and it requires very minimal effort from your side, okay? You might be thinking like, is that even possible? Like, yes, it is, but you have to pay attention. You actually don't need to study or have a dietitian to help you with this. With these 5 steps, you can already come a long way if you implement them into your routine, okay? So let's get right into it. The first one is to I want you to have a clear and proper overview of what you're consuming. Like from the moment you wake up until the moment you go to bed, I want to see how much you're eating and what you're eating, what and how. Those are 2 very important details. So write down on a piece of paper everything you consume, from foods to drinks, everything that goes inside, okay? It's only this way that you will actually see how much you're eating, because the reality is that we all over or underestimate what we are eating. And I think I can speak for everyone, including myself. Like, it was a real eye-opener for me in the very early stages of me going into fitness and like starting with a fitness coach and, you know, paying more attention to my diet. I wasn't aware of how much I was actually eating, even though it felt like I only had 1 or 2 meals that day. So your mind thinks like, oh yeah, I just had 1 or 2 meals, so I didn't eat that much. But it's not the amount of meals you're consuming, it's what's in those meals that's important, the calories. So just because it seemed that you ate very little doesn't mean that it will automatically translate into fat loss, okay? So write down everything you eat and drink throughout the day, so you already have like a basic to start with, so you can pick the mistakes out of it and start from there, okay? As I said, you want to keep that structure somehow, but you want to change up things a little bit to improve and to achieve fat loss. So this is the first thing. And you guys, and as I said, be honest with yourself. Like, really, if you lie to yourself or you skip some things, like, the only person you're actually punishing at that moment is nobody but yourself. If you can't be honest with yourself, like, how are you even gonna change? It's with everything. If you want to achieve something, you need to be able and take a look at yourself with a critic eye and also recognize your mistakes or the areas you lack effort. And of course, this also applies to your eating and drinking habits, okay? Yeah, this is where it all starts actually, because let's start here. Fat loss comes down to calories in versus calories out. You want to create an imbalance. So you want to make sure that it's not at the same level, because if your calories that you're consuming and the calories you're burning throughout activity, throughout living are the same, you will also remain the same. So you're basically at maintenance. Your body won't change. But if you want to have fat loss, either one of the 2 has to increase or decrease. So, but this depends on your personal preference. So either you choose to increase your activity level or you choose to just eat fewer calories. I think this is the shortest way that I can explain how fat loss works. So as you can see, you don't need to go to school for this. You don't need to have a dietitian for this. You know, you can do it by yourself. But it requires a little bit of awareness and motivation to start and changing your routine slightly. As I said in the beginning, With these 5 tips I'm gonna share in today's video, you're not going to have the feeling that you need that your whole routine or your whole life will look different or feel different. No, it's just small tweaks, but that can make a big impact at the end. By having a better understanding of what you're consuming, you will be a lot more mindful with everything else you're gonna consume. It's only the moment we get to, like, we need to face the reality that it enlightens a lamp inside our head, like, oh my god, I didn't know I ate so much cereal in my life. I didn't know I drank so much soft drinks, actually. You know? Those kinds of realizations are key. And so this already leads me to number 2, which is swap foods for less caloric dense foods. You know, guys, we live in 2024. I think there's never been more variety in products than we have today, okay? Like, for every single product there's so many alternatives or different variations that you can buy. It's not that difficult, but you just have to be willing to change it up a little bit. So I'm gonna give might look like a stupid example, but it's just to give you a small example. So if you're someone that loves to drink latte macchiato or just coffee with cream milk, like a creamy coffee, you can substitute the cream for just skim milk. It won't taste any different. Full cream milk, swap it for skim milk and add a little bit of a sweetener to it. Then I mean like a natural sweetener, like some honey or, for example, some stevia. But this already on its own contains so much less calories than the full fat coffee cream, okay? So just to give you like one example, but there's so many examples I can basically give. The bottom line is it's calories in versus calories out. You want to have as much volume as possible into your diet, but with as less calories as possible. So how are you gonna minimize those calories? It's by making mindful choices. It's by choosing light products over the regular products. If you love soft drinks now and then, instead of drinking just regular Coca-Cola, go for the zero version or the light version, you know? It goes for anything. Honestly, I think this is also one of the most easy tips I can give, and also the tip that has the less amount of impact on your life. I personally think that nowadays the light products or zero version products are almost so identical. Like, why would you even consume the caloric dense original product if you can save yourself a lot of calories and enjoy more foods throughout the day than spending so many calories on that one specific food product? Like, to me, it makes no sense, but of course, everyone is different, and I'm here to help you to achieve easy fat loss results. So this is, in my point of view, the most easy tip to implement into your lifestyle. Once you have swapped out all of the regular products and switched them to their light versions, we have come to tip number 3, and that is to control your portion sizes. It's a crucial one. You are not, just like the first one, you are not aware of how much you're eating until you're basically counting the calories for all portions you're eating. And this is something that you don't need to do on a daily basis, but it can be helpful and give you a good insight on estimating portion sizes when you do it. Like, just for once, try it out yourself. Like with the overview you made in the first step, go in the kitchen, weigh every single item with the portion that you're used to eat and take, and measure everything. You will be blown away about how much you're eating. There's people that overestimate their calorie intake, but let's be honest, most of us just underestimate our calorie intake. And this lets us to maintenance, gaining weight, and just not being able to achieve fat loss, okay? So be aware of the portions you're eating. And you guys, I've been in this industry for 10 years now. I've worked with different coaches. I've been on plenty of diets, and as much as I'm good at estimating portion sizes, I'm sometimes still amazed or like surprised about how many calories can be in just very, very little food. Those food types don't always need to be unhealthy, but like healthy foods in some cases also do consist a lot of calories. Don't underestimate. For example, foods that are high in fats, healthy fats, let's say salmon, avocado, nuts, oils to bake, olive oil, olives, like, you know, all foods that contain a lot of fats, healthy fats. Don't underestimate their portion, because 1 gram of fats contain 9 calories. Taking in mind 1 tablespoon of olive oil, for instance, and 1 tablespoon is approximately 15 grams. Do the calculation already. It's not a lot. It's probably not even enough to prepare your dinner, but this is the amount of calories that are in just a tablespoon of olive oil. Thing is, if you're not losing weight, you can find any reason you want to find, but the only reason you're not losing fat is because you're not in a caloric deficit. As simple as that. It's just science. It's confronting, to say the least, but at the end of the day, better to have a confrontation with the reality than just thinking like, oh yeah, I will never be able to have visible abs or to just lose X amount of pounds. No, it is possible. Take on the confrontation, and yeah, the solution is just in front of you. Another reason why portion size can be so delusional is because, to me, this amount of potatoes can seem like, oh yeah, I ate a lot of potatoes. But this, to the person next to me, for example, my boyfriend, can seem like, oh yeah, that's just like 1 or 2 potatoes. I'm eating this amount of potatoes. Yeah, I ate a lot of potatoes. With my portion size, I think I was eating a lot of potatoes. He's also thinking he's eating a lot of potatoes, but the portion size is completely different and probably 2 or 3 times as big as mine. Even though in our mind it's a big portion for both of us, it's not, okay? And this is why it's so important, even for me as a coach. I want to have a clear overview. If you say, yeah, but I just ate a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and yeah, I just ate very little, but still I'm not able to achieve fat loss. For me, that's a red flag. I already know, like, you're not being honest with yourself. And you're definitely underestimating the calories you're actually consuming throughout your meal, okay? So yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be a big reality check for you. But as I said, if you cannot take on the confrontation, you will never be able to change yourself. So take it on and know you're already at step 3 of the fat loss guide, if you can say it like that. No, because you have modified your portion sizes, so now you're eating smaller portions, there's a chance that you will feel more hungry throughout the day. It's just normal because you're eating less food in general, okay? But to solve this problem, we have come to tip number 4, which is adding more fiber and protein into your diet. You have to make sure that you're eating enough fiber, but throughout your entire diet, whatever your goal might be, whatever stage of your fitness journey you might be in, or even if you're not, into fitness, your diet for any person needs to have enough fiber in order for you to have an optimal and good intestinal flora. But also fiber helps a lot with filling up your stomach. It keeps you full for a longer period of time, and this is actually what we want, okay? Because we don't want to experience hunger when we are trying to lose fat, because this feeling on its own will only enhance the feeling of, yeah, I'm on a diet and I don't like this, I'm hungry, I'm suffering. We don't want this, because the more you get those feelings, the more chance you will fall back into your old habits and just give up, because it's too challenging, it's too difficult. You don't want to experience that feeling of hunger. So instead, add more fiber to your diet and that problem will definitely be solved. I will include a list of high fiber products that you can integrate into your diet if you don't know which foods contain a lot of fiber. It's a small modification, but can have a really big impact at the end of the day. So yeah, why do I say protein? Because protein, out of all the 3 macronutrients, protein is probably the most important, because it is responsible for a lot of building and repairing processes in our body. So you're probably gonna benefit a lot from increasing your protein intake if you're just someone that eats just regular, like, and with regular I mean like someone that's not into bodybuilding or fitness, because majority of the people that are not into bodybuilding actually eat too less protein than they actually should be eating. So I personally always advise 1.8 to 2 grams per kilo of body weight of protein per day. If you can manage to sit somewhere in that range, then you're fine. And you can further increase your protein intake, but just keep in mind that it won't help you any further in, building muscle mass, for instance. But it can definitely keep you satiated for a longer period of time, which is actually very helpful in this situation. Now, the final one is actually not really nutrition related. It's something I would advise optional, or if you're like, no, I'm not going to change anything to my diet, which I don't really advise, but for the people that really are stubborn and are like, no, I refuse to make any changes to my diet, what you can do, remember my energy balance, either you increase activity or you decrease your calorie intake. So if you're someone like, I'm keeping my nutrition the same as to how it is, okay, then we have only one option left, and that is to increase the activity. You can add extra cardio or any form or activity to increase your caloric expenditure throughout the day. If you have a busy schedule and it's very challenging to add some sports here and there, or for example, a daily step goal into your routine, I would not even advise to opt for that. I would advise to, make the changes to your nutrition. But again, completely onto you. Once you have done all the modifications to your nutrition, then one last step you can take to spice things up even more. So we are already actually in the negative energy balance because of all the modifications you have made to your diet. You can spice it up even more by increasing your activity throughout doing extra cardio or any form of activity. This can literally be anything. Cardio is something I love to implement because I'm someone that wants to keep my calories as high as possible, and I prefer to, suffer more throughout doing more sports. But again, this is something very personal, and it's also something that I keep as I would say, my final shot or so. So let's say, for example, you have been implementing the nutrition tips for a couple of weeks or months right now, and you have made some nice progress, but you have come to a point where it's actually stagnated. Instead of decreasing your calories further, you can just add cardio to your routine. It's just a very simple tool, which I personally love to use, but not right away. I don't want to use all my options right away, let's put it that way. So I keep the cardio as like, okay, I'm gonna keep it. Whenever it's needed, I will implement it. And I would advise for cardio to just start low frequency, not a big amount of cardio. Like typically what I would do is 3 times per week, 20 minutes of cardio integration after my workout or on a rest day, whatever you prefer. And then you can increase along the way. But remember, if you're eating in a caloric surplus and you're adding cardio, it won't have any big effect actually. But if you're, for example, staying at maintenance calories and you're adding cardio, you see you have the imbalance. So in this situation, it can definitely give you the results you're looking for. All right, so these were my 5 tips, but I do have a bonus tip for you. If you still think like, I don't know how to do it, I don't have any clue about how to start, even though after watching this video and me trying to explain it as good as possible, remember I do have my own fitness and nutrition app, which is called Reach It. I will put a link down below in the description box of this video. We offer a free trial. We have meal plans in it. We have a calorie and macro calculator in it. You can adjust your goal anytime, like just select losing weight, gaining muscle, maintenance, whatever. And we do all the work for you. There are fixed meal plans in my app already, which are created by me. They are divided by different calorie sections, and we also offer pescatarian, regular, and vegetarian meal plans so far. In the app, we also have training programs with video guided exercises. You can track your weights, you can track your progress through a separate tab. There's a chat function in the app where you can chat with me personally in case you have any urgent questions. Like, I can go on, guys. My app basically has everything you need to kickstart your journey, or if you're someone that is stuck in your journey already and want to elevate your goals and want to elevate your results, my app is here for you. We offer training programs for different levels, from beginner to advanced, and focus also on different areas of the body. So whatever you prefer, I will link the website here down below. Check it out. And if you have any questions, then as always, you can ask them in the comment section. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful. I hope it's also not too long. I have a feeling I've been sitting here for 1 hour. But yeah, there's just so much to say. And even though I've said a lot in today's video, I just overlooked some things here and there because it's so difficult for me to talk about these kinds of topics when English is not my native language. I just wish I could tell it in Dutch. It would make it so much easier for me, honestly. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys, and see you in the next video. Bye.